Eala recently stepped into the heart of the Nike World Headquarters in Oregon and found her own portrait already greeting her from the wall. She did not enter as a mere visitor or a casual guest, but as a global icon, whose face is now immortalized alongside the elite. She stands among the most legendary athletes Nike has ever partnered with in their long and storied history. The entire tennis world is observing this development with intense focus, and her rivals have every reason to feel a sense of unease. Do you believe this massive partnership with Nike will become one of the most significant athlete brand deals in the history of women's sports? Please share your detailed thoughts in the comments section right now as we discuss the weight of what just happened in Oregon. This particular moment deserves to be understood in its full complexity, rather than being dismissed as just another social media post. Eala made her grand arrival at the sprawling Nike campus in Beaverton, Oregon, this past Friday. The reception she received was far from the typical welcome given to someone who is simply associated with a brand. Nike welcomed her with what was described as a full cavalry of support, and had her portraits already showcased in their legendary tunnel. This is the same hallowed corridor that features the faces of Nike's premier global ambassadors across every single athletic discipline. It represents every sport and every region across the world that the Nike brand touches. Right there among those legendary icons was 20-year-old Eala, who is currently ranked number 31 in the world. Beneath her portrait was a striking and powerful caption that read, "History in full bloom." Take a moment to really reflect on that phrase, because Nike never chooses their words by accident. Every single word in that building, every curated image, and every caption is crafted with absolute deliberation. Nike operates one of the most sophisticated and strategic brand communication machines on the entire planet. When they place the words "history in full bloom" under the portrait of a 20-year-old Filipina player, they are making a massive statement. They are declaring how they perceive her, where they believe she is headed, and what her story represents for their brand. This is not a minor endorsement deal. This is Nike firmly planting their flag in the future of the sport. Also included in the gallery was a poignant photograph of Eala taking a selfie with her devoted Filipino supporters. This inclusion was both a touching personal detail and an extremely intelligent branding decision by the company. Nike is doing more than just celebrating a single athlete. They are honoring the entire community that follows her. They are acknowledging the global fan base that travels internationally just to pack massive stadiums for her matches. They recognize that the Eala phenomenon is much larger than just one individual competing on a tennis court. It represents a cultural wave, with a fan base that is passionate, global, and growing with every tournament she enters. Putting that fan selfie on the wall at headquarters proves that they see the full picture and are proud to be part of it. One of the portraits showed Eala mirroring her own emotional reaction after she reached the Miami Open semifinals last year. With both hands on her face and tears in her eyes, she captured the raw emotion of achieving something she did not think was possible. That specific image became one of the defining photographs of her incredible breakthrough season. She entered the Miami Open as a wild card, after successfully battling through the grueling qualifying rounds. Most wildcards at these major Women's Tennis Association events are simply happy to make the main draw and hope to win a single round. Eala did more than just show up. She started winning rounds with incredible confidence and poise. She stunned the world by defeating Iga Swiatek, while she was the reigning world number 1. She followed that by taking down Jelena Ostapenko, another formidable Grand Slam champion. She also defeated Madison Keys, a massive fan favorite who was playing on her home turf in the United States. She reached the semifinals of one of the most prestigious events in women's tennis, and she did it all starting from qualifying. Eala herself described that incredible run as the defining moment that officially put her on the global map. She mentioned that everything finally clicked into place for her immediately following that performance. Her eyes were opened for the first time to the true scale of what was actually achievable in her professional career. The official rankings quickly confirmed her new status as she broke into the top 100 for the first time after Miami. This milestone meant she would automatically qualify for all major tournaments and Grand Slam main draws moving forward. The door to the elite level of tennis did not just open, She essentially tore it off the hinges. From that specific point in time, her ascent through the professional rankings has been absolutely relentless. She hit the top 100 after Miami, cracked the top 50 by the end of last year, and reached the top 40 earlier this month. She climbed to world number 31 after an impressive quarterfinal run at the Dubai Tennis Championships. During that run, she dominated Jasmine Paolini with a score of 6-1 and 7-6 before a tough loss to Coco Gauff. Her season also featured a semifinal in Auckland and deep runs at both the Philippine Women's Open and the Abu Dhabi Open. She even secured the exhibition title at the Kooyong Classic and made her main draw debut at the Australian Open in Melbourne. Her only early exit in that entire productive stretch was a single first-round loss at the Qatar Open. Even that minor setback occurred during one of the most consistently impressive tournament swings any young player has achieved recently. This is exactly the caliber of player that Nike has chosen to feature on their legendary gallery walls. She is no longer viewed as just a potential star or a promising prospect for the distant future. She is a player who delivers consistent results on the biggest stages and carries an unprecedented global audience with her. Former professional players, Steve Johnson and Sam Querrey, recently discussed her massive impact on their podcast. They claimed that Eala is currently the biggest draw in women's tennis, even comparing her to Grand Slam champions. Despite having fewer top 10 results than stars like Aryna Sabalenka or Coco Gauff, she outdraws them in crowd energy and attendance. At only 20 years old and ranked 31, she is commanding a level of attention that few in the sport can match. Johnson compared her impact to what Zheng Qinwen achieved on the men's side, but noted that Eala's situation feels even larger. Nike understands global markets better than almost any other company, and they clearly see the massive opportunity she represents. Nike recognized this massive potential market, acted decisively, and now Eala is immortalized on their wall in Oregon. With the Indian Wells and Miami Open tournaments approaching, the timing of her visit to Nike headquarters is anything but a coincidence. Eala made it a priority to arrive in the United States early to undergo extensive preparation for these two critical events. The prestigious Indian Wells tournament is scheduled to take place from March 4th to the 15th. Immediately following that, the Miami Open will be held from March 17th to the 29th. These back-to-back Women's Tennis Association 1,000 events represent the most significant competitions outside of the Grand Slams. For the first time in her blossoming career, Eala will enter Indian Wells as a seeded player. She earned this significant advantage by fighting her way up to the world number 31 ranking. This seeding provides her with the crucial benefit of a protected draw in the tournament bracket. This strategic position ensures she will not have to face the top-ranked seeds during the opening rounds. It offers her a much smoother path to the later stages, where she has already proven she can hold her own against anyone. Miami is particularly special because it is the very place that inspired the portrait now hanging at Nike headquarters. That moment of raw emotion, tears, and pure disbelief was something she described as the absolute pinnacle of her career. Now, she is returning to that same hallowed ground as a fundamentally transformed athlete. She is better ranked, far more experienced, and backed by a massive fan base that travels across the globe to cheer for her. Carrying the full prestige of being a Nike Global Ambassador means the pressure is on a completely different level this time around. Expectations have skyrocketed, and she is stepping onto the court after visiting the most iconic athletic brand headquarters on earth. There is a unique power in seeing your own face displayed on the wall of such a legendary institution. It provides a psychological advantage that money simply cannot buy, and that no amount of elite coaching can truly replicate. Walking through that famous tunnel and seeing her portrait at just 20 years old is a life-changing experience. It reveals exactly how the gatekeepers of athletic stardom, who understand greatness better than anyone, view her future. Nike does not award space on those walls to individuals they hope might achieve something in the distant future. They reserve those spots for the select few who are already making a profound impact on the world stage. Her competitors in women's tennis have been monitoring her rapid ascent with a level of attention that borders on genuine concern. It is a major shift when a player who has not even cracked the top 10 begins to earn seeds at major 1,000 events. She is now commanding the center courts at every tournament because her massive following demands nothing less. When an athlete ascends to become a Nike global ambassador and receives a grand reception at their headquarters, everyone takes notice. With her portrait prominently displayed for all to see, the message being sent to the rest of the tour is impossible to ignore. This young player is being treated as a top-tier athlete across every single dimension of modern professional sports. Every piece of the puzzle is now in place. The talent, the marketing, the culture, and a community that stands firmly behind her. Her elite-level play, her massive marketing appeal, her cultural impact, and her community roots are all perfectly synchronized now. Her consistent results over the last year have proven beyond any doubt that she belongs at the absolute pinnacle of women's tennis. The commercial side of her career has now reached a state of total equilibrium with her exceptional performance on the tennis court. Nike chose to designate her as a global ambassador before she even won a major title because they recognized her inevitable trajectory. The future they envisioned is arriving much more rapidly than even the most optimistic forecasts from 12 months ago could have predicted. The inclusion of a fan selfie on the walls of the Nike headquarters speaks volumes about why this partnership is so profoundly effective. The bond between Eala and her supporters is not merely a business transaction or a typical athlete-to-fan relationship built on wins. Devoted fans travel from Auckland to Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and Melbourne because she represents something much larger than just a tennis match. As the legendary Manny Pacquiao recently observed, she carries the national flag with a dignity that fills her people with immense pride. By honoring her supporters on their wall, Nike is signaling that they understand the Eala story transcends individual athletic achievement. This is the powerful story of a nation finally seeing one of its own belong at the top and prove it every single week. With the Indian Wells tournament only 4 days away and Miami soon to follow, the portrait is set and the rankings are soaring. Her rivals know she enters the court with her legacy already etched into brand history. So like and subscribe to follow this journey.